Welcome to the EWC breakdown for Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. And wow, we have a busy episode today. Look, track regionals just took place Monday night, and then we have track sectionals coming up Thursday. Seedings are all out now for all the spring sports. Look, it is busy time now for EWC spring sports, and we got you covered here on the Sports Cruise. So, look, we're going to start how we usually start these episodes. We're going to start by looking at what was sent in by the listeners. So we had the Kiel girls varsity soccer team send in a lot of information. So again, thank you to them for sending in this information. So look, they had a few things to add. They played Kewaskum last week, and they were ranked number 7 in Division 3, and they tied with them 3-3 in that game. Keep in mind, Kiel's in D4. They're the number 1 in D4. CD meeting also took place last week, and just a spoiler here, Kiel is, in fact, the number 1 seed. So, also, Taylor shot she's leading the state in points. When they sent this in, it says 146. This is probably outdated now, but she's probably still leading for sure. She's also leading the state in goals with 62. Abby Moore is leading the state in assists then with 30. And with that, then we'll be covering the girls' soccer bracket when we get there. Also, we had Charlie from Sheboygan Falls. He sent in some information regarding track, and we have it here. So Emmett Crowder, he won the EWC Conference 100-meter dash, and he shattered his own school record that we talked about a few weeks ago. He ran a 10:87 at that meet for the 100-meter dash at Valders for conference. So congrats to him on that. So moving on then from there, we have to talk about what was sent in by Taylor from Valders regarding softball. And look, this play is important as the Valders Brilliant game that took place last week. Valders did win 9-6. Julia Zabel, Michaela Dallas, and Taylor Hummel all had home runs for Valders. And then Taylor Hummel was also the winning pitcher. And look, Brilliant and Valders, the Lions and Vikings are squaring off tonight for an EWC playoff game for softball. So that is going to be a great game there. Look, they just played last week, and now they get to play again here on this Tuesday night. So that's going to be a great game, as I said. So let's move on now. We're going to the world of golf as we have results. We have the final standings, and we have the all-conference golf team for the EWC release. So works out perfect here. Here we go. Sheboygan Falls is currently in the lead. I believe this might be final now, so they might have one conference here with 10. Manitowoc Roncalli with 11. Kiel with 21. Chilton 31. Valders 38. Brilliant 41. Two Rivers Mishcot that co-op 48. And then New Holstein 52. Here is your EWC then all-conference team. So we have that finally here. For your first team all-EWC, John Okabrocking out of Roncalli was number 1 there. And then Andrew Kettle out of Sheboygan Falls, Brayden Yonda, Luke Pouts, and then Jack Gutner. And then the second team, Nolan Buchalin, he out of Sheboygan Falls, then is your first member of the second team, then Bennett Giddin, and then Nathan Olson, Andrew Vorpal, and then Will Falconer to round out the second team. Honorable mention, Jack Luco, Owen Just, Mitch Endries, Dylan Bromstead, Mason Niels, and then others. Kason Casper, Parker Dahlman, Drew Piepenberg, Greg Oberbrocking, Ethan Fisher, and then Owen Roth. So that rounds out your EWC all-conference team. Thank you again, Ethan, for this website. Really appreciate it. And then from there, now we are going to be talking about the track meet that took place. Look, this track meet was insane as we had 6 teams from the EWC there. I want to apologize to Two Rivers and Roncalli because sadly with us keeping these episodes short, I'm not going to be able to cover their regionals that took place. So we're going to be focusing on this Brilliant regional that featured all the teams. It also then had Plymouth and Utzberg. So I'll be reading the top EWC finishers as the top 4 for each event move on to sectionals. That's how that works, and sectionals will be Thursday. So we're going to roll it here, and full disclosure, this PT Timing website, they have all the events mixed up. So it's going to be a little out of order here, but we're going to roll with it. So let's go. Starting in pole vault here, Luke Rissy out of Valders, Aiden Fielden out of Kiel, Nick Runge out of Kiel as well. Those three finished inside the top 4, so they will be moving on. Brooklyn Munns then for girls shot put won that event. She'll be moving on. Lauren Leitner, Rose Meyer, and Claire Anderson will follow her as well. They'll be going to sectionals. Those were the top 4, all EWC teams there. Rachel Halverson won the girls' long jump. Megan Schumann took second there. And then Addie Wenzel, and all 3 of those finished in the top 4. They'll be moving on. For boys, 110-meter hurdles, Xavier Koth will be the lone EWC member moving on as he finished 4th in that event. And then girls 100-meter hurdles, we had, for the finals, we had Romaine Franzeth. She'll be moving on out of New Holstein. And Summer Strassner out of Sheboygan Falls. Hallie Meyer out of Kiel. And then Lorelei Haas out of Utzberg. And that wraps up for the girls' 100-meter hurdles. And then we'll go 100-meter dash here for boys. Emmett Crowder took second in the event, and Ian Struve out of Plymouth won that. But Crowder ran 11:16, so he'll be moving on there. And then also Charlie Fries took 4th in the event. Boys 100-meter run. Shane Griepentrog ran away with the event with a 4:14. In second was Clay Taylor with a 4:40. Both those guys out of Valders. Logan Murphy took 3rd out of Sheboygan Falls, and Connor Murphy took 4th out of Sheboygan Falls. So those 4 guys will be moving on. Girls, 400-meter dash. We had Sarah Reby out of Kiel. She won that event. And then also Reagan Iselman and Jocelyn April took 3rd and 4th. So 3 Kiel Raiders will be going to sectionals out of that event. 4x100 relay, Sheboygan Falls won that. And then boys 400-meter dash, Chaz Blanky out of Kiel won that. A freshman wins that event. He'll be moving on. As well as Jesse Alvarez, Trey Bartz for Kiel. So next event, we'll do boys 300-meter hurdles. We had Devin Barton. He won that event from Sheboygan Falls. He will be moving on. Girls 200-meter dash, Sarah Reby took 3rd, and then Ashley Lighton took 4th. And that was Reby's from Kiel, and then Lighton's from Falls. Next event we'll read, we have boys 200-meter dash, Emmett Crowder won that, then Bryce Simon took 3rd. So those 2 out of the EWC finished inside the top 4. They'll be moving on. Boys shot put, Jacob Brettel took 2nd in the event. Jack Fisher took 3rd. Sam Welch took 4th. There. Next, girls 1600, Lily Watson won that event. And then Zoe Watson took 3rd. Elizabeth Backus finished in there as well. And then Hannah Welch took 4th. So 4 people from EWC are moving on in that event. Girls 800-meter run, Jocelyn April won that. Lily Watson took 2nd. And then Brooke Lau took 4th. Boys 800-meter run, Shane Griepentrog won that. Eric Reby took 2nd. And then Pierce Arns took 4th there. And then to round out, we're going to read what teams are moving on. So, well, we'll talk about just the winners here. Kiel won the event for girls, and I believe this was their 7th straight regional championship, is what I saw on Twitter. So, congrats to them with a score of 177. Sheboygan Falls took 2nd, 116. Plymouth took 3rd, 114. And Burlington took 4th with a score of 79. For men's, then, Utzberg took 1st there. They won the meet, 147. Sheboygan Falls, 133. Plymouth, 125. Kiel, 105. And then Valders there at 84. So, to move on then, that is our track talk for the week. Let's go read then. We're going to just read standings, and we're going to talk about the playoffs then for other sports now. So, baseball standings are out here. I think they might be finalized for the regular season, or they will be soon then. Chilton, right now, 14-0 in conference, 16-3 overall. They're running away right now. They've only allowed 24 runs in conference, or it says in conference right now, so that's impressive stuff. Kiel, 11-3 in conference, 14-5 overall. New Holstein, 9-5 in conference, 11-7 overall. Two Rivers, 6-8 in conference, 6-13 overall. Brilliant, 6-8 in conference, 7-9 overall. Valders, 6-8 in conference, 10-10 overall. Sheboygan Falls, 3-11 in conference, 3-16 overall. Roncalli, 1-13 in conference, 4-13 overall. And that wraps up then the conference standings. But we got to talk about the road to state for baseball. Look, it's kind of a mess here because a lot of schools are kind of like spread out in different sectionals here. So it's okay. We do have a majority of them in sectional 4 in Division 3. So how that works then, we have right now, I see Chilton got the 1 seed, of course. As we mentioned, they dominate. They're going to play the winner of Cedar Grove, Belgium, and Utsburg. And then bottom there, the 3 and the 6 is New Holstein will host Valders, the 6 seed. And then the winner of that game will play either Kohler, Sheboygan County Christian, and then Howard's Grove also. So between those two, the 7-2 game there. Also, then we have for where Roncalli and Brilliant landed. Roncalli and Brilliant landed in the same here, sectional 2. They landed in, and Roncalli the 6 is going to play Mishkat the 3, and then Brilliant the 4 is going to host Manitowoc Lutheran the 5. So that's how that worked out. And then we see Two Rivers get bumped up here. They move up the division, so they're kind of in a different spot. So just to navigate to them here, they will be playing against number 2 Campbellsport. They're going to be traveling to Campbellsport, and then Kiel got the 3. They're going to host Sheboygan Falls the 6. And this is they're in sectional 2 of Division 2. So there's your baseball update there. Let's go to softball standings. Two Rivers, 12-2 in conference, 14-2 overall. Chilton, 12-2 in conference as well, 17-4 overall. Valders, 10-4 in conference, 11-6 overall. New Holstein, 10-4 in conference, 15-5 overall. Brilliant, 6-8 in conference, 10-9 overall. Then we have Sheboygan Falls, 4-10 in conference, 5-13 overall. Roncalli, 2-12 in conference, 6-15 overall. Then Kiel, 0-14 in conference, 2-19 overall. And then we also have the road to state for the softball. We have some games going on. We talked about the bracket last week, but we're going to read the games that are taking place tonight. Two Rivers and Kewanee are going to square off. Brilliant and Valders, then Roncalli and Mishicot. So those are the matchups then for softball, and like I said, those will be taking place tonight. We have all 3 at 5 o'clock as well, is what I'm seeing. So with that here, we're going to move on here. We're going to talk about some soccer before we wrap up on this Tuesday morning. Girls soccer, we do have the bracket out as we mentioned, but we'll read the standings here to start for the EWC Packerland. Sheboygan Falls and Kiel are both 6-0-1 in conference, and then Falls is 12-1-2 overall, and then Kiel is 16-0-2 overall. Sturgeon Bay, 4-1-1 in conference, 6-5-2 overall. Green Bay NEW Lutheran / Providence Academy, that co-op, 3-3-2 in conference, 3-7-3 overall. New Holstein, 3-2-1 in conference, 4-5-1 overall. Roncalli, 2-5-1 in conference, 4-9-1 overall. Valders, 2-5 in conference, 2-9 overall. Sevastopol Gibraltar, 1-4 in conference, 3-9-3 overall. Kewanee, 0-2-1 overall. Or in conference, 0-2-1 overall. They're both the same there. Two Rivers then, 0-5 in conference, 0-6 overall. So there are your soccer standings. And now let's read the bracket here. Kiel, like I said, got the 1 seed. This is in Division 4. Keep in mind, sectional 2. So they play Clintonville at Kiel, of course, and then Sturgeon Bay and New Holstein are going to square off the 9 and the 8, and the winner of that game will play probably Kiel here. We have Omro, then the 3, playing Roncalli, the 14 as well. And then we have Valders, the 15, playing Howard's Grove, the 2. So there are your EWC teams in the Division 4 Sectional 2. And then we have to move to Sectional 3 here to find Sheboygan Falls, the 1. And they're going to play Campbellsport, the 16. And then we have to move up a division then to find the Two Rivers Raiders, as they are in Division 3. and they are playing number 16 Little Chute. So they have a play-in game to play Plymouth. So that's how that will work. They are, like I said, the 17th seed. They have to go to Little Chute to play number 16 Little Chute to decide who plays Plymouth, is how that works. So right now, those are your EWC updates here. So that's going to wrap it up for me, Drew Skyberg, here on this Tuesday morning. So thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Jordan and Drew, the Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.